All right, so you notice that the sizes and the resolution and all that on this assignment look a little different than usual. That's because the images that you start with may not be quite the same as, well, they won't be the same. They'll be completely different depending on where you're going. And I don't want to prevent you from having a good image to work with because it's slightly too small or slightly too large. So I have a size requirement. It can't be any smaller than 4 by 6 inches. Please don't make it any bigger than 8.5 by 11. This is vertical or horizontal. Please don't make it any bigger than that. It makes it really hard to work with and grade. I recommend 300 pixels per inch, but you can go down to 150. And if it's still 4 inches by 6 inches at 150, that's fine. You'll be fine for that. You'll be turning in a 3-layer Photoshop document. So let's pretend that I had colored this entire piece and not just this one little square. Oh, will this let me in? So I still need to update Photoshop to get rid of this glitch. Let me pause this for a moment and then I will fix this. Okay, redocked. All right, so to do this assignment, you're going to demonstrate your ability to add color to photo through adjustment layers, layer masks, layer modes, all these things that I've demonstrated in the lecture. I would go back, remember the techniques video, go back there, take some notes on that. Ask me questions early. I will be happy to answer them. I'll make little Q&A videos for you guys so that we can see what's what. All right, so I want you to find a copyright-free photo or a photo that you've taken. That's fine. You're going to need to set the image mode to RGB. So for some reason, CMYK, make sure that it's image mode. RGB. And you want to do this before you start. This is the first thing, before you even color any of this, this is the first thing you do. Go ahead and make sure that you've got the profile in it, and you do that by assign a profile. And again, you do this early on. And you set the profile. The one I want is sRGB IEC 6 1966 2.1. And again, if you're doing your own work, Adobe 1998 is great. Probably use something like that to give you more color space. For this, though, I just need to see what it looks like, and I need to ensure that it displays well on all the monitors. All right. So when you're preparing the image, you're going to need to do what I did earlier. That means alt double clicking the background layer, calling it original photo. Duplicate the layer, turn off the original photo's visibility. I did that early on. You can see it in the prep folder here. I did that just so that I have a copy that I won't accidentally lose or delete or anything like that. You'll want to do retitle the duplicate layer black and white, and I did that as well. Over here, and do all of your little edits, the curves and everything to make it pop. Get some good contrast to it, so some deeper blacks and some lighter lights. Be very careful not to have too much white. You won't be able to color that. All right, once you're done adjusting it, you'll want a flattened copy of all that, and I did that with the merge visible. And so at this point, you should have like a black and white layer and an original photo layer. If you need to save this out as a separate copy somewhere, just so you don't accidentally delete things, that's fine. Duplicate the black and white layer, title it colorize, turn off the layer visibility of the previous one. This is just so you don't destroy it. You don't have to follow along if you have the original copies. I just recommend this so that everything turns out correctly. Make sure the file you turn in has the right names. I need colorize, black and white, and original photo. I have to have only 3 files. They cannot be smart objects. They must be named properly. Even if your original photo was black and white, duplicate it anyway and have an original photo and a black and white copy. I need all 3, okay? This is important. That's a big part of your grade there. So create your colors using a mix of brush tools, blending modes, color, overlay, multiply, etc. You can select color range. You can use hue and saturation, use layer masks as necessary, levels and curves as desired. If you have an idea to improve it, try it. Refer to the notes you've taken. Again, you don't have to take notes for every single thing. Just maybe pop back over to the video on techniques and take a few notes on that. It can save you some hassle so you don't have to keep rewatching those videos. All right. When you're done adjusting all the colors, save a copy of your file for your personal archive. Well, I've done that. I've got Tangerine demo. And then we need to make a copy for homework. On your duplicate copy, merge down the visible layers, and you should only have 3 layers: original, photo layer, black and white layer, and your colorized layer. Save it as a Photoshop document using the standard naming convention. So in this case, will be assignment 8, your last name, your first name, and then whatever version number. It'll probably be 01. I have some hints and tips. If for whatever reason you're not using masks, remember multiply mode will work well for shadows. The color mode will work well for midtones, and overlay will work well for highlights. You can desaturate your colors and highlights by mixing in whites, which you saw me do a couple of times. It's as simple as coming in. I like to go to things like brightness or saturation and just adjust those, turn down the saturation, turn up brightness. You're adding it, voila. Or inside your hue, you can just drag to the left and you're adding in white. That will let you do some of the effects like what we were having going on in here. Oops. All right. Don't be afraid to emphasize your shadows by mixing in darker colors. You saw me do that a lot. Once you start putting in colors, select color range as your friend. That's true. It will let you, I don't think I harped on this enough. It will let you actually come in, select color range, and access things that you already worked on. So when you build new layers later, you could do great things very quickly. Let's see. Blues. So grab those blues. Oops, I'm in the wrong section. Grab those blues. And with that, you can target specific areas very, very quickly, allowing you to darken or lighten or grab bits and pieces pretty much wherever you want. Yeah, there's some good stuff in there. All right. Don't set your brush to 100%. Of course, there are times to break this rule, but generally you'll want to build the colors up gradually to prevent a flatness and add variety. Color burn and color dodge on colorizing layers can help color stick. I didn't have that issue here, so let me say it real quick. If you do end up in a situation where the colors just aren't working because it's too light or too dark, you have color burn and you have color dodge. Which means you can make things lighter and you can make things darker with burn or dodge. So let's go ahead and grab some burn to darken. I keep using the same stupid small brush. Let me crank this up. And maybe 13%. And no, 80% just to demonstrate. You can see that I can come in and burn things very quickly to make it stick a little bit better. And look at that right in here. I can bring back in all kinds of details just with some burning. And that will be on the layer I'm colorizing on, the black and white bit behind everything else. Oh, I think that solved a lot of problems right there. Isn't that wonderful? I love it when a plan comes together. Let's go ahead and use some dodge. We can lighten up some other areas. Oh, that's too much. And again, smaller and lighter. You don't want to be doing this at 100%. You want to build up slowly. Oh, that's so much better. Look at that. I should have done that earlier. So color burn and color dodge are your friends. They'll help those colors stick. And all right. So this assignment can produce a lot of different results. I showed you a whole bunch of different things for student work. There's an endless variety. Don't worry about if it's realistic or artistic. Just have fun. Just make sure that you assemble it like this. Let me show you. Pretend that I colored all of this, and just for the sake of, now don't actually do this, but just so that I can demonstrate what everything should be, colored. Don't do this, all right? But just so that it shows. Oops. There we go. So everything's been colored, and this is just for demonstrative purposes. We'll pretend that I colored everything. I'm going to assemble the whole image. So Let's make sure that the size is right. I have, oh yeah, plenty. It's actually too big, so I'm going to shrink this down considerably. I should have checked this first before I really dug into it, and I'm going to suggest that you guys all check the sizes to make sure everything is correct. So I'm just going to go to image size, and maximum and minimum size. I don't want it higher than 11 here, and I could go all the way down to 4 inches on this, so this is fine. I'm going to go as far as, oh, you know what? What am I doing? Cancel. I'm going to leave this one alone. Let's do this. I'm going to go to my history palette history window. Window history. Duplicate the whole thing with this new document from current state. Cool. I'm going to do a couple of things. And close my original so I don't accidentally destroy it. I'm going to create a duplicate of all these colorful bits. For this to work, I have to have an active layer at the top selected, and then I can do Control-Alt-Shift-E. All right, so I've got that done. I need the black and white image. So I'm gonna pull that out. I don't need any of this stuff now. I need the color image. I should not have thrown in the way, which is the original photo. All right, now I don't need any of this stuff. Let's see. I need my colorized image. Throw all that away. Okay, so this needs to be called colorize. Make sure you name all of them. Okay, this needs to be the correct file name. I'm going to hold off on that for just a moment. I'm going to go to image size. Now I'm going to do my final adjustments. I'm going to set this to be no wider than 11 inches. Heck, I can bring it down to 10 if I want, because it's still bigger than 4 inches in the other direction. If I want to, one way to cover up some mistakes is to actually lower the resolution. And that will hide a lot of little errors that occur. Again, don't go under 150 unless you absolutely actually have to. Like if you just realize that your image you spent all week working on was slightly below, you should have checked that first. But if it's slightly below, just turn it in. That's fine. All right, there we go. So we've got a colorize, we've got a black and white, and we've got an original photo. This is everything. Now, don't just fill in a hue saturation like I did. I mean, I guess if you just run out of time, pop it in so that I know that you were working on it. But no, try to actually color all of it, because that's a big part of the assignment. I don't want bits and pieces that are just sticking out by accident. I don't want it to look like you just ran out of time. I want it to actually, be done. So now save it, and I'm going to call this 8 dash last name dash first name, and then version 01, and there we go. And it's ready to be turned in and uploaded, and we're set. Double check that I don't have more instructions on how to turn it in online. At this point in the semester, I may be asking you guys to respond directly to the discussion for the assignment. I may need you to talk about that, so do check the assignment to be sure that the assignment discussion, to see if there's more to it than that, the assignment as well as the PDF. The PDF may not say things about discussion, so do check the assignment's discussion for assignment 8. All right, thank you very much for sticking with me. I know that there are a lot of videos, but it's important to go over all of this. Now you have an understanding of how Photoshop handles color at the technical level, so congratulations on that. All right. I will see you next week. If you have any questions, let me know. I need to know so that I can record videos and answer your questions. Otherwise, why have a class if your teacher isn't responding to you? Just ask, and I will be more than happy to answer. Okay, you have a great time doing this. I know it's going to take a lot of time, so get some good music playing in the background, maybe something on Netflix, not too distracting. It's going to be a lot of just work, pick at it. If you start to get into the zone after 3 or 4 hours of it, you may want to, set an alarm so that you get up from time to time, do some stretches and all that. You don't want to get cramped because you sat in front of a computer too long. All right. I hope that this helps. Again, ask me if you have any questions. I will see you.